They've been around for decades, but a longtime family business along Central is worried the homeless, drug and mental health problems right outside their doorstep is creating a fragile future. And they're giving it one last fight to try and get some help. KRQE investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhardt took their concerns to city leaders.
Those passing through Central and Louisiana may not know what this stretch of Route 66 used to look like. A desert thoroughfare for travelers and the hometown Main Street for locals. Longtime businesses like Southwestern Minerals have seen a lot over the years.
We've been here since 1969. My father-in-law started up the street in 1963.
In its heyday, Southwestern Minerals was a booming business, selling rocks, gems, and turquoise to local jewelers and the public.
Very much a family operation.
But on top of that, second-generation owners Michael Spaeth and his wife say it was a safe place.
She would go out the door with her wagon selling Girl Scout cookies up Central. We'd walk to the local restaurants with, no problem at all. Yeah, it was just a great area.
Today, you can see the difference from his shop's front door.
I can't let her run loose out here.
Behind his store, a city-owned alleyway littered with drugs, dealers, feces, and trash.
And this is another commonly used restroom in that corner. The needles, I can probably pick up 25, 30 a week. It blows in from the alley. The whole yard is just covered with drug residue.
These days, customers are fewer.
Good morning.
The ones who brave the parking lot
Thank you.
are safe to browse behind a dead-bolted front door. And Spaeth spends his days on high alert, frequently trying to move along drug users.
Appreciate it if you didn't do that right in front of my doorway. That's really disrespectful.
To keep people safe outside, he's called the city and Albuquerque police more times than he can count.
Basically, all they can do is scatter the herd.
Records show city resources and APD have responded to calls to the store itself more than 40 times in the last year and responded to the area outside his store more than 70 times.
Our efforts are focused out here daily with our problem response team.
Lieutenant Justin Hunt is the Southeast Area Commander for Albuquerque Police. He has a dedicated team of 4 officers who focus on this 5-block area.
What would help you?
What would help me is to have more police officers in the city of Albuquerque. A lot of individuals that our PRT officers are dealing with out here are suffering from some sort of substance abuse or mental health issues, and we are reaching out to other resources within the community and the city to assist with that.
But Spaeth says it isn't working. Call logs show the city's unarmed civilian response team, ACS, has tried offering resources to people around his store.
They drove the alley, talked to 5 individuals, gave out food, water, and resource cards. Some clothing was given to some of them. None of them wanted to talk about resources.
And then how does that make you feel?
I do not feel that I've been heard. It's like Uber Eats. People that are doing the drugs do not have any reason to want to leave the area, if they're being fed and given drinks.
And crossing daily through the alley is unavoidable since the store's warehouse is on the other side of it.
And then we also have 2 other buildings.
He and other business owners have considered fencing off the alleyway, but since it's owned by the city, they're not allowed to.
It's kind of a confluence of all these problems of it's public property because it's an alley. We can't close it for public safety reasons, but it's public safety reasons that are causing the problem, and nobody seems to be taking ownership of it, and it's incredibly frustrating.
Pat Davis is city councilor for District 6, which includes Nob Hill and the International District, where Southwestern Minerals is trying to hold on.
The last thing we need is another closed business on Central, and it is partly a strategy that the city needs to be a better partner.
He suggests having dedicated city staffers to coordinate responses and follow up with business owners about specific problem spots like this one.
And right now, it just sort of depends on who answers the call as to who you might get.
But like a lot of places, staffing up isn't easy.
The city still has a 20% vacancy rate, and a lot of those are in those services that are out in public.
It's partly why some business owners feel the need to take matters into their own hands.
Businesses are having to hire private security to try to maintain their property values.
Larry Sontag with the New Mexico Business Coalition says his nonprofit advocates to policymakers and tries to help businesses dealing with crime, but it's not always a simple fix.
It is hurting their business because people don't feel safe.
Meanwhile, Spaeth was hoping his son would take over the business.
I don't think he's really interested anymore, because of what this area has become.
Do you feel like yours and other businesses in the area have a fragile future here?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I see this becoming like a lot of the problems they have in California, where people just have to pack up and leave.
Spaeth reached out to the mayor's office asking for a plan, but he never heard back. We reached out to the mayor's office asking for a sit-down interview about this issue. A spokesperson told us his schedule was full and pointed us to a news conference where Mayor Keller was asked about the International District.
We are not going to give up on that community. We are literally reversing decades of underinvestment in that community, but it's going to take time, but we're well on the way.
A fragile future for Spaeth.
I'm trying to put up the good fight,
But he hasn't given up yet. Gabrielle Burkhart.
It was good seeing you.
KRQE investigates.
APD says it's also targeting patrols in the area on the other side of the fairgrounds near Lomas and Louisiana.